Hi guys, Namaste. It is Sahara Seven here. And guess what? If I love wrestling and you love
You're
wrestling,
not here, you
then we
missing
love
out.
wrestling.
This show. Welcome to the We Love Wrestling Spot. My name is Terry. Today I am with another African queen. She's from Cairo, Egypt. If you go online, you can see her presence. She's been out here since 2005 wrestling, and you should know her name. Her name is Sahara the Seventh. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How's everybody doing? Hey y'all.
Thanks for giving us this time. So, the first question I always ask is what started your love for wrestling, or why do you love wrestling?
So I grew up with half siblings that were older than me, and many of them were boys. So I'm the second to the last girl. And when I was growing up, it was either you. Am I allowed to cuss? Wait, that's another thing. Am I allowed to cuss? We gotta keep it PG.
You're allowed to be yourself.
Okay. I didn't want to cuss because I was like, it's either get your ass beat,
Hey.
or like for trying to change the channel, or you watch wrestling and you just, and you survive another day. But that was the beginning of when I started watching wrestling. And that was when, like, I really didn't fully understand all of it yet, but I was used to seeing it on in my house. And my uncle was a wrestling fan, my dad, like pretty much everybody in my family were wrestling fans at one point. And it didn't become real to me until like I started going through a lot like with bullying, which is a lot about what I'm about in wrestling is anti-bullying and things like that, because I got bullied so bad, like I was physically bullied. And I just remember relating to the underdogs in wrestling, especially when they had the females like Jazz, Jackie, and Victoria coming out, and these females looked like me. They weren't like skinny, thin, like Barbie dolls. They were like some thick women with some hips and some butt and some ass, and I was like, yes. And and they were getting picked on because they looked different than everybody else, and it was just like I was going through the same thing, in my life, and I was getting physically bullied. And it was just like if I could see these strong women like stand up to like their bullies and like continuously week after week still go to that place, whether it be work or for me it was school at the time, and stand up to their bullies and like go on with their life and achieve great things, and I know I can do it too. So that's when wrestling kind of started relating to my life. Of course, I went to college and I played soccer. I did everything else that I was supposed to do in my life, quote unquote, according to my parents, before I started wrestling for real, because I didn't have time. As a scholarship athlete, I didn't have time to do like a lot of extracurricular things. But it wasn't until, baby, I was packing up that room and I was like, tomorrow is graduation. What am I about to do with my life? I was like, I'm gonna go wrestle. So I saw a ad for a local wrestling show in Richmond, Virginia, and they were like, "Oh, if you want to be a wrestler, come down here. We'll get you in these classes." And I was like, "You know what? I think I can do this. Like, I think I've always loved wrestling. I was like, I think I really can do this." So I went to the school, and they told me I wasn't gonna make it past day 3, and then 6 months later, first girl to graduate in 8 years, and I mean, a lot of the people that was talking down on me and stuff like that when I came to the school, I kind of outlasted them and, did my thing and never looked back. So
Mm.
that's how I got started in wrestling.
What school was it that you went to and started training?
My first school, the one that didn't really like me and I got sexually assaulted at, was SPW Wrestling, which we won't even talk about them. They're not even worth a mention. It got closed down anyway, so it wasn't worth a mention. But I did end up going to Primetime Wrestling Alliance in Yorktown, Virginia. So shout out to them. They actually did train me. Like, those are some real folks at that school. The other school, don't even worry about that school. But Primetime Wrestling Alliance did great. It did a great thing for my career and giving me my training and things like that.
Now, so you did bring it up, so I have to ask it. So, online the last year, a lot of the speaking out movement, you said that you were sexually assaulted at the first school. How do you feel the wrestling industry right now is moving forward with keeping those type of offenders out of the business?
I especially today, I saw online today people were talking about background checks, and I'm like, Child, the background checks ain't the only thing, like that. There's some people who've done things that don't have criminal records that, get away with a lot of things. And back in the day when I was coming up, it's changed a lot now. But back in the day when I was coming up through training, like, there was nobody there to like be that person and be like, this is right, this is wrong. And I feel like now with so many of, guys and girls who went through those experiences in the past, coming up in that old system of how wrestling was supposed to be, now that we've suffered, what we suffered, we're going to be those people in the locker rooms and at the shows and being like, this is not right. You can't do this. Because we didn't have that kind of person back then. And if we did, it was very rare. Now it's way too many of us that have seen way too much and have been through way too much to let that happen to somebody else. So I feel like now we're going in the right direction. Like, yeah, people can say background checks, but I feel like we're going in the right directions by having actual people there that are going to stand up and speak out and like right then and there, not just let this thing go on for months and da-da-da. No, when you see it, you say something. Like, even if you think it may cost you your job, you could be actually saving someone's life, and then later on down the road, you may have lost that job right then and there. Who cares? There's like 17 billion other ones in the professional wrestling business. You may lose that one show or whatever, but there's later on down the road, that person could repay you with the most generous act of kindness because you simply just stood up for them. I'm a firm believer in karma. Like, I believe that so many people back in the day that when, that let those things slide and did those things, they're now getting their karma. They're getting their karma because there's no room for them in this new day and era of wrestling.
And I want to commend you because you are one of the people who I see online when people do talk about it. You tell them they can reach out to you if they need someone to talk to you. So you, Faye Jackson, a lot of other people, but I do want to commend you for that because there is no room for that inside of wrestling. Now another situation dealing with WWE came up. I've seen you on Twitter going back and forth. People have a problem with Apollo using his actual speaking voice. If you're watching this, you know well, you might not know. A few of us know, like, hey, you got to put on that voice when you talk to people, and behind everything else, there's really a different voice. And I saw that you're from Egypt and everything. How do you feel about that representation and people?
I have no problem with what Apollo is doing. The same way I had no problem with what Kofi did. Because for so many years of us growing up, especially if you come from immigrant parents who who were not born in the US, you know what I'm saying? You have heard this your whole entire life. You've been around your parents where if you're in the grocery store, especially in this country, in America, you're in the grocery store and your parents are sitting up there talking and speaking in their native tongue, and they're speaking to you or they're speaking to your aunt, your cousin, whoever. And you hear somebody who ignorantly just says out loud, this is America. We don't speak that here. We speak English. You're not speaking proper English. Do you know how many times we hear that a day? Literally, it was physically beaten into our ancestors to speak proper English, the Queen's English, because our native tongue was not acceptable. And now we don't get physically beaten nowadays, but we still lose out on jobs and opportunities if we don't speak correctly in their eyes. In their eyes, our native tongues and native languages are considered unacceptable and not normal. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I say crazy ass shit, whether it be in my normal speaking voice and my customer service. For most of the people who don't know, my shoe job, I am a fucking nurse. I'm a nurse. I don't give a damn. I do not give a damn if I'm talking to you like this, if I'm talking to you in my customer service voice, if I'm talking to you as Sahara Seven. By the way, Sahara gets down both ways. She don't care. But I don't give a damn how you feel about my native tongue or my native language, because I'm going to always be me. Apollo is just doing what he's done every day of his life, which is be him. It's just y'all not used to him being 100% honest with you guys. And I'm not saying you as in, but I'm talking about the viewers. Y'all not used to it. Y'all not used to it. So Y'all claim that y'all want the real in wrestling, and y'all want to feel something, and you want to feel the emotions, and y'all want to this, that, and the third. Y'all want it this, that, and the third. Y'all want it this way. Well, Apollo's giving you just that. He's like, let me show y'all, step into my world. This is my world. This is how when I go home and I take off the smile, you know, that I have to have on my face all day, even though something could be bothering me. This is how I get down. This is how I represent. It's how I give it up. So I just feel like it's not fair, and it's not just goes for African folks, because I mean, I'm not the leader of the African delegation by no means necessary, even though my grandfather was a diplomat. I'm not the leader of the African delegation by no means necessary, but that doesn't, I'm not just talking about just Africans. I'm talking about every single like person born of an immigrant, parent, grandparents, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have experienced this, and it's not fair. It's not fair for you to sit there and just because this man is on TV and y'all met him a certain type of way of him being nice and sweet and, you know, the go-to guy, the smile on his face, athletic, you know, very well spoken. That's not fair for y'all to sit up here and just because he switches and shows you another side of him, which is his true side, for him to say he's uneducated, you know, he's faking, he's this, he's putting on an act. That's not an act, baby. That's real life. It's not fair for you to demand the real and the all of someone, and when they give it to you, you scrutinize it. You can't love us for us doing what looks good on TV, but when we bring out the real, you don't like it. It's not fair. It's not. And I personally, I don't give a damn. If I want to sit up here and sit up here and curse and scream and fuss and talk in my native tongue, who's gonna stop me? Not there.
Nobody.
Exactly. So you either take it and appreciate it for what it is, or keep your fucking mouth shut.
That's I love how you said that. I relate to that myself because I grew up. I'm born from down south of Mississippi, so when I moved to the Midwest, I remember the first thing they did was they was like, you have to go into this class because we don't like your accent and everything, and we can't understand what you're saying. And I was, and I talked to my mom about it. I'm like, I literally have to go to this class like 3 days a week because they don't understand my words, but I'm getting all my work done. And she was like, yeah, that's just something you got to do. But, you know, if I go back down to Mississippi and come back up, then everybody hears the accent. They like, oh, you faking your accent? I'm like, that's not fake. That's what I grew up with right there. But I came here and they made me like tried to, you know, clear it out of me and everything. But so I totally feel what y'all going through with that. Since we on this African subject, we got to talk about it. I brought you on here because this coming weekend you'll be facing another African queen for the GCW Women's Championship, Queen Aminata.
I love her. Love her.
How much you gonna love her when y'all in the match though?
I mean, okay, listen here. Everybody's always like, y'all are so excited to wrestle each other. Y'all gotta understand, it's not a lot of us out here. It's not a lot. First of all, there's not a lot of black wrestlers out here, male or female. And let alone, it's very rare that two of them are in the same match. As much as we say wrestling is changing, and I'm not trying to make this all about race, but I'm just saying this is very important. Like, we just got over Black History Month, and I'm still celebrating. I don't care what anybody say. Black History Month is every day for me. Black lives still matter. Women still matter. Black women still matter. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's Women's Month. But for me, this is so much more than just a match. The reason why we're so excited, even though we're probably going to beat the hell out of each other. We're going to beat the fuck out of each other. I know her. Like, little backstory. We used to work for Lufisto, and we love Lufisto dearly. She was the one that first kind of brought us together. I wish I would post it. I'm probably gonna do it after this podcast. I'll post the old video of me and Aminata in Lufisto's locker room and Casey Spinelli. And we was like, oh girl, you know, where you from? We was like, Africa. We made this like whole little like 30-second video actually about like how our hair was kinky and we both didn't know each other, but we're coming across each other in wrestling. and we're figuring out we're African sisters and we're related by blood when we share a homeland. And Casey Spinelli, we love her. We picked her to be the not so smart white girl that got in the middle of the video. And she's like, I'm from Africa too. Aren't we all from Africa? And we literally was like about to beat her ass in that video. But it was all in fun and jokes. That's was like, no way are we saying Casey Spinelli or anybody's a racist. No, we're not. We were just making a joke. But it was just funny to us because we didn't know each other at that time. And Lufisto brought us together. She saw an opportunity to bring us together, and we love spending time in that locker room. And I got to know Queen Aminata that way. And then I just been watching her, and we both trained in Japan at the Marvelous Dojo in Japan under our wonderful senpai, Chigusa Nagai-san. And she went a little bit after me, but she's still like, she's now want to consider it my dojo sister. And it's like, that she can bring that intensity now. So it's like, we both know what to expect of each other. That's why I say we're probably gonna beat the hell out of each other, and it's gonna be great. And like, I'm not gonna lose respect for her in this match. Like, there's no way I can lose respect for her. One, for her even taking the match. Two, I'm not gonna lose respect for her because that is my fellow countrywoman. Like, she's a part of me now because she's my sister by blood. Not saying that we're blood related, but I am just excited to face a fellow countrywoman and a fellow dojo sister. And I just think that we are putting on, not saying that it hasn't done before, but two African women are putting on we're going to put on a damn good show and show them that, we're capable of this. And just, we hope that we inspire other, women, especially, and other Black women, especially. But most importantly, we just want to, really just put on for, like I said, I hate to keep saying it. We just want to put on for the motherland. Like, we just want to show out and show that, we're capable of this, and we just want our people to be proud of us.
GCW Love of Wrestling Title Match Network, Love of Wrestling 3 on the Title Match Network, Saturday, March 13th, 7 p.m. If you're in the area, CrossFit Exalted in Sanford, Florida, go to GenerationChampionshipWrestling.com for all your tickets there, and find out more information. Now, so I'm going to tell you the truth, Sahara. I'm excited because a few weeks ago I talked to Masha Slamovich, and she told me that she was over at Marvelous and training. So it took me on a whole little downstream and rabbit hole because I was like, I knew La Rosa Negra trained there. I saw some of your matches over there. What is it about the Japan culture and wrestling that took you over there? Is that something that you always wanted to do?
That was my only goal in wrestling. Let me just be honest with everyone. People always ask me all the time, was WWE or, at the time, Impact, whatever, was my goal. And I'm just going to be honest with you. No, it was not. My goal was to get my butt to Japan and put on a freaking show in Japan because them girls over there go hard. Not to say that girls over here don't go hard, but I'm just saying, when I was coming up and coming through the system, we were still stuck in the era of divas, and I did not fit that mold. But over there in Japan, they had women of all sizes, shapes, and colors over there kicking ass. And I was just like, now this looks like a gang I can get down with. And it just made me want to train and get over there. And you named a couple people that went over there, but it was really like my best friend and my two best friends, actually, my sisters and my roommate, Renee Michelle and Nyla Rose. AEW's Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose is my roommate, and also my very good friend, now WWE ref, Aja Pereira. Aja Smith, ref Aja Smith, but she was Aja Pereira to us. But kind of, it was them, like us four, that really just rocked it out over there. And we were just like, this is where we were meant to be. This is what we were meant to do. And our senpai really believed in us. Like, she really believed in us, and she really just gave us so much support. Like, I owe them so much. Like, if it wasn't for this pandemic, I'd probably be over there right now. I'm not even gonna front. I probably wouldn't be nowhere near the US. But just the style, like the hard hitting style, because I've never been like clearly, if you ever seen me on social media, I am not afraid to say what I gotta say, and I always end everything with "I will hit you" and "I will fight you" and whoever else. Like I like hard hitting. I like to feel. I like to feel it. I like to get some kind of emotion out of it, and they really get emotion out of you, and they really let you know how they feel. And I just that's what really drew me in. The showmanship, the everything. It elevated me. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen matches from before I went to Japan, then after it was like a whole different like transition and like an evolution. And I just feel like that's what you should always do is try to evolve, you know? And
Yeah.
they just kind of like honed in. They were like, okay, what are you good at? Like, we're gonna find out what you're good at, and we're gonna hone you on that, and we're just gonna keep drilling that in your head. We're gonna brush you up on your basics, and we're gonna make you a monster, but we're still gonna like hone in on what you're good at, because nowadays there's a lot of people that are good at a lot of things, but don't know how to combine them into that one thing. Over there, you could be good at a lot of things, but they gonna combine it and make you a super beast. And that's what everybody over there has their own like differences. They have their own way of doing things, their own style. They have their own. It's just so like eye opening to see that not everybody wants to be the same thing.
I did see some of your matches before you went over to Japan and afterwards. I think the first time I came across your name was you was wrestling at MCW. And I thought about taking a trip from where I'm at to MCW because I saw a few people on the card. I was like, maybe I should go out here. But then I looked it up. It was like an 8-hour drive.
Woo,
But
child.
everybody you said did talk to Renee Michelle. She gave her senpai a lot of credit when we talked to her back in November. So, once I hear someone train in Japan, I try to see because everybody comes back with that extra Christmas when they hitting people. Speaking of which, Queen Aminata did hit me in my back like 3 or 4 times when they was here for Shimmer, and she hits very hard. So brace yourself for that.
I I would expect nothing less. You know what? For real, y'all need to have our senpai on this show. Y'all see why we afraid of her? Like, please don't hit
Oh,
me.
we got one in mind. Janai Kai also talks about it because she wants to go over to Japan.
Mhm.
So yeah, we got someone in mind. It's the time difference. So we talked to
Mhm.
Masha when she was still in Japan. So we may be able to do that soon.
Hopefully, I
But
I mean, I
I
definitely will be the. If you needed someone to translate, I got you.
oh well, say less
Yeah, I got
because
you.
that was
Me,
show gonna
Renee,
come off.
Nyla, Aja, we got you. Like, we had to learn something. We was there for a while.
Yeah, I love to hear that. Let's see. So before I do the last thing, this is always a setup question I do on people. Um, the Rocker Stone Cold.
Dare you? How dare you? How dare you? I what? How am I supposed to pick between two people? What?
It's either the Rocker Stone Cold. It's like you got choices.
Or I'm gonna pick or. I'm gonna go with or because you said or. I'm gonna pick or because I refuse to. No, no, I refuse to pick between the two. Like, I
Come
love
on
them
now.
both so much.
Come on now. We didn't have like over 100 people on here. You can't be the first one to not pick somebody. There's no
I'm the
right.
first. I'm
There's
the
no
hard
right or
seventh, and
there
I'll
is
go
no right or
first.
wrong answer. Don't do this to me. Come on.
No, I am the first. There, it's not about being right or wrong. It's my conscience won't let me do it. Like, I will physically hurt myself trying to pick one. I don't think you want to do that. I don't think you want those problems.
All right, Ric Flair Sting.
Thing
See how easy that was? Rocker Stone Cold.
or
Damn. All right.
that's what you're not getting me, yo. You're not getting me because I'm just gonna tell you, I love those men, both of them for two different reasons, and like I appreciate both those men for two different reasons. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were some of the most influential men, in my like whole entire time watching wrestling as a kid. But now if you sat up there and said Ron Simmons or the other two, I'd be like Ron Simmons all day. dad all day. Like dad all day.
Shout out to Ron Simmons.
Yeah, yeah. Big shout out. Without
Oh,
him, none of us would be here.
oh yeah, he gets a big shout out. I got to talk to him in New Jersey for like 5 minutes, and that was in like 2015, and I remember that conversation. So that's huge for me growing up watching WCW, getting to do that. So yeah, I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
I, that's all you had to say. You just had to put it. I'll be like Ron Simmons. Simple. Ron Simmons.
Rock Stone Cold though.
Or you're not gonna get me. You're
I
not
didn't even
gonna
say
get
or
me.
that time though.
Rock Stone Cold. There you go. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and do our last part then, since we can't get an answer on that. First
Not,
time ever, people. She didn't pick. I mean, I don't know. I
you're
can't do
not
nothing.
gonna get me. Look, y'all not gonna get me. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Well, Sahara, what we do here before we always close out, we do what we call a put yourself over moment. This is where you let our people know your social media, any ways they can support you, any ways they can follow your journey, anything that you want to let them know how they can just keep track of you. We just want you to put yourself over.
Well, easy. You can find me on social media. Twitter, it is Sahara underscore 007, like 007. Woo, woo. And then you can find me on Instagram. It's Sahara, THE, the number 7, TH. So it spells out Sahara, the 7th. I also own a cosmetics line that will be debuting this summer, but you can go ahead and follow the the Instagram. Sorry, my dog is trying to make an appearance. There he is. And so
What's up, dog?
his name is Hades.
Hey, oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Hades. He's bad. Um, but I have a cosmetics line, and it is Sultry7 Cosmetics on Instagram. Um, what else? I was gonna say I'm on Facebook. You can just type in Sahara the 7. TikTok, Sahara the 7. I have it all. I also have a big cartel. If you're interested in buying, like I have 2 new shirts coming out, and I have 8x10s and things like that already on that site for sale. So I have a big cartel, and it's the Sahara 7 official store. Um, what else? Just follow me, guys. I genuinely try to take the time to respond back. And like he said before, especially with the way things are going in wrestling, if you feel like you need to talk to someone and ever need to reach out, I may not be able to answer right away, but I definitely will get back to you. My door is always open virtually, because in real life, I'm a hermit. I close my door. But virtually, my door is always open. If you ever want to get in contact with me and you just want to have someone to talk to, I'm a good ear to listen. Please don't let the silliness fool you. I completely, understand, certain things and take into account people's feelings. So please, if you have anything that you would love to reach out with, I'm always here. I'm always a good listener. And you can follow me on my socials. Ting.
All right. Oh, before we go, because you're talking about social, so I gotta go into this. Why are you not wholesome?
Huh?
Why are you not wholesome?
Oh, fuck that. Oh no, not the whole. First of all, they my homegirl. That's my homie. That's my sister. We ride or die, yo.
I
We
was
ride or
just
die
asking.
around here. But
Just asking.
secondly, I'm not wholesome because the creep life always chose me. So creep squad for life. Number 77. I am soul snatcher. Yes, I am. That's me. But yeah, no. If you clearly could understand by the fuck that I have a horrible, horrible mouth. I curse a lot. Stuff that Suge just would not allow in his club. And I was just like, okay, I don't fit here. I love them to death. Like, don't get me wrong. I love my little wholesome folks. But we can't hang out because I curse too much. Uh I'm very like I think everything is sexual when they be talking like stuff and I'd be like, okay, but they be trying to sneak though. A lot of them faking and playing. They be trying to sneak. So they ain't even all that wholesome. Don't get me started. Me and Faye got a whole conspiracy theory going on. Some of them over there don't really want to be on that side. They want to be on the other. But Anyway, shout out to the Creep Squad. We always taking new recruits. Trey D. We taking new recruits.
Hey, I'm not affiliated with nobody. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna work you into the fold. We're gonna get you in there.
I'm a Scorpio. I just don't affiliate with nobody. So If
okay,
you know
we got
where
Scorpios in the club too, so we gonna work you in the fold. It's all right.
I see.
Don't try to use your astrology sign as an excuse. I'm a Taurus. We hard headed. We don't care. We don't listen. But yet I'm still in the Creep Squad. So
shout out to Faye Jackson. Shout out to Suge. I ain't pick no side. I love everybody.
Yes, he
so
said he's on the Creep Squad. He told me before we went live he was Creep Squad all day. Don't let him listen. Don't let him lie, yo. Don't let him lie. Look, I'm gonna get you kicked off there.
Why are we doing this? You know what I'm saying?
Because you asked the question, you tried to make me choose. Now I'm gonna make you choose. Pick now, right now. I didn't hijack your show. Pick
both
now.
Both of them.
Nah, we ain't doing all that. It's one or the other.
I'm a wholesome creep.
You know what? I'm gonna let you slide just for thinking that up. I'm gonna let you slide just for today. All right. So, see, this
you
why
didn't answer one. I didn't answer one. So we all good.
This
we all
straight. On y'all shows. I act a fool.
I appreciate you for giving us this time.
You have laughed more.
What'd you say?
You have laughed more at my jokes this whole entire time.
Yeah, but it's all about the energy. You know what I'm saying? You got good energy. You tell good jokes. You good. You good with me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how everybody else feel about you, but you good with me.
Oh, fuck them if they don't fuck with me. Fuck them.
Yeah, you gonna get us.
That's another reason why I'm a creep.
She gonna get us canceled.
I know. I'm gonna get y'all canceled. I'm so sorry.
Nah, you good.
I ain't trying to get y'all. Okay, excuse me. Let me rephrase that. Screw them.
Nah, if you want to say fuck them, say fuck them. I mean,
that's what I was like. I'm trying not to get you canceled. Screw them.
If I had Black Wrestling Podcast on here and then get canceled, I don't think you'll be able to get me canceled. So we good.
Facts. Facts.
keep it all the way black over here.
Facts.
So, last thing I always ask, because I got to, and the way my mind works, is there 3 people out here that's wrestling that you haven't faced that you would like to face? Because I mean, Mania weekend's coming up and everything. Y'all creeps got the Gray Sweatpants Battle Royal coming up. You know what I'm saying? GCW has the Run This Town event going and everything. Are you gonna be there, mate? Are you gonna be down in Tampa Mania weekend?
I now live in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, so that's like an hour from you.
Yeah, I'll be there. You know me.
She taking bookings and signings for Tampa. But are there 3 people who you haven't faced that you would be interested in facing?
3 people. I mean, it's kind of hard because I've done like a lot of my list, but a lot of them are like guys. So I want to wrestle D Rogue. Shout out to D Rogue. I want to wrestle him.
West Side. Okay.
And then who else? I have like, I'm thinking about it now. Do you know Australia? I keep forgetting her what's her last name? I can't, but she's another black wrestler. She's super dope. Mercedes Blaze. She's from the UK.
Yeah,
but
Mercedes.
She's a fellow creep, but that's a badass right there. That's a badass. You think I'm badass? She a badass too. But yeah, and then if I could add an extra one, Lee.
Lee who?
Lee
who?
You don't know Treehouse Lee?
You ready for Treehouse Lee?
Yeah, man. I want some I want to wrestle Treehouse Lee.
Treehouse Lee is different. That boy different.
Bring him on.
Oh, okay.
Bring him on. I like different, man. I like different.
You talking about D. Estrella, the Academy of Bougie, Bad, and Thick?
Yes.
Controversial AF?
Yes.
The Demolition Derby of FSW?
Yes, girl. Yes, that one right there.
Oh, okay.
That's a baddie too.
We just talked to Shayna Lazarus the other week, and I know they rode together. You know, they said March 20th, I believe, they may be having an all women show at FSW. Just saying.
I heard.
Feature stars of wrestling, you know, the email, you know what I'm saying? If I'm be out there working, so, you know, we'll see what's going on.
Hopefully we'll see each other soon.
All right. Are you?
Hopefully. That's
okay.
Look,
Sound
if
like you was trying to.
And there's some badass women on it that I want to wrestle, I'll try to make my way there.
We support Rimmers Wrestling over here, you know. Shimmer Absolutely. For the last few years, black wrestlers over here, you know, we all about that good life.
Exactly.
So that's all for me, you know what I'm saying? Again, I appreciate you taking this time on Saturday, people. The Love of Wrestling 3. When I saw this match, I mean, let's be serious. GCW last August, they came to Indiana. We had two queens, Queen Aminata and Tricia Dora, go head to head. Now we got the Love of Wrestling coming in. Now we got Queen Aminata and Sahara Seven going head to head. Another bangers only. I don't know if I'll be there in town, but if I am in town, you know how we do. But other than that, guys, tune in. We have more people this week coming from the Love of Wrestling. Maybe a prodigy who's facing someone else, but you'll find that out later. But as I always say, my name is Terry, Trady, whatever you call me. Don't disrespect me. And if I love wrestling and you love wrestling, then we love wrestling. It's too sweet.
Hi to you.
Hey guys, how you doing? You should be here.
You should.
Shame on you, but have a nice day.